In recent years, the regulation of cryptocurrency has become a key issue in financial and political debates, particularly concerning Bitcoin. One prominent figure in this conversation is Senator Elizabeth Warren, whose proposed bill aims to ban the self-custody of Bitcoin in America while allowing banks to hold Bitcoin on behalf of consumers. This policy has sparked significant controversy, with critics accusing Warren of enacting measures that disproportionately harm the poor and working class, the very group she claims to champion. The core issue lies in the perceived contradiction within Warren's policy framework. While she prohibits individuals from personally holding their Bitcoin, she simultaneously supports the banking system's involvement in cryptocurrency custody, an action that critics argue benefits large financial institutions at the expense of financial sovereignty for individuals. These critics believe Warren's stance reinforces the power of the banking sector, undermining the original ethos of cryptocurrency, decentralization, and financial independence. For many, especially those marginalized by traditional financial institutions, Bitcoin represents a way to bypass predatory fees and gain direct access to their money without relying on middlemen like banks or Western Union. This dynamic is central to the disagreement between Warren and her opponents in the debate over crypto regulation. Contrasting views on cryptocurrency, Senator Warren's perspective on crypto regulation. Senator Warren has consistently voiced concerns about the rapid expansion of the cryptocurrency industry. She argues that the volatile and unregulated nature of crypto poses a threat to key pillars of the financial system, including stability, consumer protection, and even national security. According to Warren, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum create opportunities for illicit activities such as money laundering, terrorism financing, and drug trafficking. Furthermore, she ties cryptocurrency to broader issues, such as environmental harm due to the high energy consumption associated with Bitcoin mining. To address these risks, Warren is determined to build an anti-crypto army to regulate the sector more stringently. Warren's approach prioritizes safety and security in the financial ecosystem, advocating for a regulatory structure where cryptocurrency operates under the same laws as traditional banks, brokers, and credit unions. She believes that by imposing strict regulations, she can protect consumers from the speculative risks and potential financial losses associated with crypto investments. Warren's supporters argue that she is taking a proactive stance to prevent economic instability and protect vulnerable populations from the speculative nature of digital currencies. On the other side of the debate stands John Deon, a vocal critic of Senator Warren's approach to cryptocurrency regulation. Deon's argument centers on how overly aggressive regulation undermines the potential benefits that cryptocurrency offers to marginalized communities, particularly the unbanked or underbanked individuals in society. He recounts a personal story involving his mother, who struggled to maintain a bank account due to predatory fees. She, like many other low-income individuals, faced exorbitant charges from check cashing stores and money transfer services like Western Union. For Deon, Bitcoin represents a powerful tool to disrupt this exploitative system. He believes that cryptocurrency can empower individuals by removing the middlemen and giving them direct access to their money. Through decentralized networks, Bitcoin offers the potential for financial freedom, particularly for those who have historically been shut out of the banking system. In Deon's view, Warren's policies fail to recognize the revolutionary potential of crypto in addressing financial inequality. Instead, her regulatory stance is seen as favoring traditional institutions, which have consistently failed the most vulnerable segments of the population. While Deon advocates for the liberating aspects of cryptocurrency, Senator Warren maintains that consumer protection must be at the forefront of any regulatory framework. She insists that while people should be free to buy and sell crypto, it must operate under the same rules that apply to traditional financial entities. Warren emphasizes that without appropriate oversight, the cryptocurrency sector becomes a breeding ground for illegal activities, from terrorist financing to drug trafficking, as well as enabling regimes like Iran to bypass sanctions. For Warren, the issue isn't about preventing innovation or blocking access to financial technologies, but rather ensuring that the innovation happens within a safe and regulated environment. By holding cryptocurrency to the same standards as banks, stockbrokers, and credit unions, Warren seeks to safeguard consumers from the speculative risks that crypto investments entail. She points out that banks are already held to stringent regulations to ensure their practices do not harm consumers or the broader economy, and cryptocurrency should not be exempt from these rules. Warren also draws attention to campaign finance, pointing out that Deon receives a large portion of his funding from the cryptocurrency industry. This, she argues, raises serious questions about who Deon would be representing in Washington. Would he fight for the interests of his crypto backers, or would he advocate for the needs of ordinary citizens? Warren's concerns about Deon's ties to the crypto industry reflect her broader view that regulatory capture, where industries influence the regulators meant to oversee them, is a danger to effective governance. Deon vehemently denies the allegations that his campaign is beholden to the crypto industry. He claims that while certain members of the cryptocurrency community may support his campaign, it is not because he will serve their interests, but because they recognize the threat posed by Warren's regulatory agenda. According to Deon, many within the crypto space are motivated to support him because they see Warren as an existential threat to the industry. Deon also defends his actions by pointing to his efforts to expose conflicts of interest and corruption within regulatory bodies like the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. He accuses Warren of sitting idly by as the SEC, under previous administrations, became entangled in regulatory capture. Deon highlights his role in bringing these issues to light, which he believes has upset more crypto billionaires than anyone else. He points to his track record of fighting against corrupt regulators as proof that he is not in the pocket of the cryptocurrency industry. He also criticizes Warren's bill for allowing banks to custody Bitcoin while banning self-custody, arguing that this policy benefits wealthy institutions and hurts the working class. For Deon, the right to self-custody one's assets is fundamental, and Warren's legislation strips this right away from individuals, effectively empowering banks and leaving ordinary people vulnerable. Senator Warren counters Deon's criticisms by underscoring her long history of fighting for consumer protection. She cites her key role in the creation of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which has returned more than $15 billion to consumers who were cheated by financial institutions. Warren argues that her track record proves her dedication to protecting everyday Americans from predatory practices in the financial system. She also highlights her efforts to go after banks for charging exorbitant overdraft fees, an issue she claims affects low-income consumers the most. For Warren, these fights against the banking sector demonstrate her commitment to financial fairness. She argues that crypto should not be allowed to operate without similar restrictions, as unregulated or poorly regulated financial entities can easily take advantage of vulnerable populations. Warren insists that basic fairness demands that cryptocurrency be subject to the same rules as traditional financial institutions. Warren dismisses Deon's claims about crypto's potential to help the poor, arguing that without proper oversight, crypto could become just another tool for exploitation. Her focus is on ensuring that any financial system, whether traditional or digital, operates fairly and equitably. In a dramatic shift in the debate, Deon accuses Warren of ignoring major scandals involving JP Morgan Chase and child trafficking, particularly in relation to their connections with Jeffrey Epstein. He points out that during a hearing where Warren had the opportunity to question the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, she chose instead to focus on cryptocurrency, rather than addressing the bank's role in facilitating Epstein's activities. Deon's personal connection to this issue adds weight to his criticism. He reveals that he was a victim of child rape for 2 years, which makes him particularly sensitive to the issue of child trafficking. Deon frames Warren's failure to question JP Morgan's role in these crimes as a glaring omission in her advocacy for women and victims. He argues that if Warren were truly a champion for women's rights and victims, she would not have let this issue go unaddressed. For Deon, this is indicative of a broader problem with Warren's loyalty to certain power structures. He accuses her of being more focused on advancing her political agenda and protecting her donors than holding powerful institutions accountable. In response, Warren reaffirms her commitment to holding banks accountable. She points to her long-standing efforts to increase regulation of the banking industry and ensure that financial institutions are held to higher standards. While she does not directly engage with Deon's accusations about JP Morgan and Epstein, she stresses that her focus has always been on bringing more fairness into the financial system. Warren also reiterates that she does not take money from the banking industry, which she claims sets her apart from many other politicians. Instead, she receives campaign contributions from individuals who support her commitment to consumer protection and fair financial practices. For Warren, the issue is not about personal loyalty, but about creating a financial system that works for everyone, not just the wealthy or well-connected. In a final response, Deon defends his ties to the crypto industry by pointing to his work on behalf of small retail investors. He explains that he sued the SEC pro bono when the regulatory body made decisions that harmed small investors. His legal efforts, which were successful, resulted in the court's ruling that a particular cryptocurrency token, XRP, was not a security, thus protecting retail investors from punitive regulatory actions. Deon also points out that one of the crypto billionaires Warren mentions recently donated millions of XRP tokens to Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign. He argues that this donation would not have been possible had he not fought for the rights of small investors in the courts. This, according to Deon, is proof that his advocacy is not about enriching himself or his supporters, but about ensuring that the financial system is fair for everyone. The debate between Senator Warren and John Deon on cryptocurrency regulation highlights a broader ideological divide on financial governance. Warren's focus is on protecting consumers and ensuring financial stability through regulation, while Deon advocates for the liberating potential of cryptocurrency, particularly for marginalized communities. Both candidates present compelling arguments, but the crux of the debate revolves around a fundamental question. Should cryptocurrency be treated like traditional financial institutions, or does it offer a unique opportunity to break free from a system that has historically failed the poor?